Thank you. I also appreciate the opportunity to speak here this morning, and I want to thank my colleague, Senator Maziarz, who, as a former chair of the Energy Committee and current member, has been a very articulate spokesman in trying to call attention to issues that are of concern to many of us and as members of the Senate and also to our communities that we represent. It is ironic that we're having this meeting here this week in Albany during what our state newspaper editors have designated as Sunshine Week. It's an annual event that aims to focus attention on the all-important issue of transparency in government. Much like the closed-door discussions that are taking place up the hill at the Capitol on the new budget in this process this year, which directly affects millions of people who live and work throughout the state, similarly, we are seeing something like this being considered in the shadows. We're hundreds of miles away from the communities that are most directly impacted by the decisions that will be made by the trustees. The issues that are being discussed themselves are the product of closed-door negotiations between NYPA and the governor's budget office. And with respect, I would object to the lack of prior notice of this meeting. If there is any information about these proceedings on Power Authority websites, my staff and I found it very difficult to access. The rate hikes being proposed could not come at a worse time for the communities that I represent. Last month, St. Lawrence and Oneida counties posted their worst unemployment rates in more than 15 years. In Lewis and neighboring Jefferson counties, there are more people without jobs than at any other time since the 1990s. We are bracing for even more job losses as we search for any sign that this economy is about to turn around. Our employers face a triple threat of shrinking markets for their products, tightening credit, and increased production costs. At a time when we should be investing to create jobs, investing to preserve jobs that we do have, NYPA is about to take action that will have the opposite effect. The issues of cost and timing are bad enough, but the rate hike is completely unnecessary. There is no question in my mind, nor in the minds of the people who live in northern New York, that this rate hike could have been avoided if there was no decision to sweep surplus NYPA funds into the state budget to close Albany's budget gaps. In effect, you are raising rates on utility customers across the state to help Albany solve its political problems, and that's wrong. The greatest impact of your rate increases will be felt in the 47 communities that are served by NYPA's community partners and cooperatives. In the North Country, that includes the communities of Messina, Teresa, Philadelphia, Rosas Point, Plattsburgh, Lake Placid, Tupper Lake, as well as Boonville, Sherrill, Mohawk, Frankfort, Oneida Madison, Ilion, Hamilton, Sherburne, and others throughout the Mohawk Valley. The host communities themselves will never benefit from the approximately $544 million surplus that Albany decided would be better used plugging budget holes than offering rate relief to local businesses. It has also been reported that the sweep may have allowed NYPA to forego their obligation for 2 years to invest $8 million a year in the Robert Moses State Park in St. Lawrence County and the Niagara Falls State Park in Niagara County. Our Senate Finance staff estimate that those funds could have provided a 2-cent per hour rate cut for every single small business in the state. Significant savings that could have helped these businesses weather these worse-than-a-generation recession times. Residential electric customers of private investor utilities, such as National Grid and New York State Electric and Gas across the North Country and upstate, who benefit from low-cost hydropower, will also feel the pinch from these higher rates. I also feel that the sweep of NYPA's fund balances is part of a growing trend that ignores the economic well-being of upstate and northern New York, in particular these communities that have already sacrificed so much as serving as a host to NYPA. Recently, the Board of Trustees agreed to commit 15 megs of NYPA power to preserve jobs on Long Island. The people of my district, the people of the communities where this power is generated, and who have to pay these higher rates you are considering today, deserve to be heard on these matters. I believe it is your obligation to schedule hearings in the communities, not here in Albany, and to explain the need for this rate hike and some of the other decisions that the NYPA Board of Trustees will be entertaining. So at this time I want to reiterate what Senator Maziarz said, and there needs to be public hearings in Niagara County, in St. Lawrence County, and you must do this or we will do them without you. And I also want to commend Judge Nicandri for his outspokenness as a member of the trustees, because he understands what the impact of these type of decisions will have on the communities that we all serve. So before any decision is made on this rate proposal, again, you owe it to the people of Northern New York and Western New York to hear how your actions impact our lives and our communities. And I believe that the Board of Trustees should firmly reject this proposal as submitted. Thank you.